Oh, Sam, today is a lazy sweatshirt day, most definitely. And I love weekend videos. Do you love weekend videos as much as I love weekend videos? Because I love weekend videos. So, Sam, you texted me this morning and said that you scripted a video about why English is superior to math. So I think I'm going to talk about what math teachers do wrong that English teachers almost always do right. So generally, I like math, but math teachers fail to make the subject interesting. Like yesterday in Algebra 2, we had to do graphs on real-life situations. I don't know why I just did 4 air quotes, but real-life situations. One of the graphs we had to draw was how the amount of moths around a light bulb is related to how bright the light bulb is. And it sort of looks like this. So the y is always the dependent variable, so the number of moths depends on the brightness of the bulb, which is x. And so you can see, like, there's just a straight line going up here. But what does this have to do with real life? Like, we did a bunch of things like this that were like things that you think about, but you wouldn't draw a graph of in real life. Like, you think that, you know, the bulb's brighter, so it's hotter, so more moths will gather around it. But nobody draws a graph of that. That has nothing to do with real life. Why are they telling us that this has something to do with real life? But Dale, he managed to make it interesting, and he drew a line that went directly down from this line. Like, he didn't have an arrow, he had a point. And then he had a line that drew directly down from that line, and then he wrote, "Bulb breaks, sad face," which I liked a lot. It made it interesting for me. So now, Sam, here's what most English teachers do right that math teachers fail to do. They tell you why it's interesting. Some English teachers will even deny that English is important. I remember I had Mr. Dobson for freshman English last year, and while I didn't like him too much, he said a few things that actually did stick with me. And one of them went something like, "I'm a fraud. You already know all the things I'm teaching you. You already know how to write, read, and use a dictionary. You could easily teach me this class. What I'm trying to do is to teach you what makes a piece of writing interesting." I mean, that's how I remember what he said. This is what math teachers fail to do, is make their subject interesting, like Weihart does, or like John Green does in An Abundance of Catherines. Speaking of books, Sam, as you know, I'm reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I found some sort of funny things in the copy you lent me, and you probably know about all of them anyway, because it is your copy, but I just wanted to share them anyway. In the front cover, it says Samantha Reese, alright? So, you know, that's great, okay? So, it belongs to Samantha Reese. But as you saw, there is a green sticky note right above Samantha Reese that says Joe.R. and quite boldly. It's kind of like J.K. Rowling saw the book and she's like, "What? Samantha Reese?" And she took a sticky note and she put it in there and was like, Joe.R. There we go. That's better. And it looked like that. And then on the first page, where there's, you know, praises for the book, there are 4 sticky notes of pink, orange, yellow, and green. And these sticky notes, I hope that you can see that. I hope I'm not holding it, like, off camera or something. The sticky notes say places, spells, potions, and magical animals. So I was like, alright, so there's probably sticky notes all throughout the book that indicate when there's a place, spell, potion, or magical animal. I was wrong. The only sticky note in this book is not pink, orange, yellow, or green, but blue. And it just says Death-E, which I can only assume stands for Death Eater, which makes sense because this is the part in the book where Harry's telling Ron and Hermione how he suspects that Draco is a Death Eater. But there's no other post-it notes in the book. Can you tell me why these are in the front of the book? I'm just curious why these are in the front of the book. So then there was one more thing I found in the book that I found sort of interesting. is this little piece of paper that was presumably holding someone's place in the book, but I memorized the page number, so I know where to put it back. So it's just this little slip of paper, and it doesn't really fit with the context of the book, which is why I was just presuming it was holding someone's place. It's just a slip of paper that's folded in half, and on one side it says, pwned, and on the other side, in the face. But the paper, when it folds out, doesn't say pwned in the face, it says, in the face, pwned. So, I thought that was just a fun thing that I found in there. So, I'll see you tomorrow, Sam, when you hopefully talk about English versus math.